Hello everyone, hope you're well. I wanted to continue on my Legend series today, and I wanted to give someone who was one of my favorite batsmen, a really fine batsman who had an amazing, impeccable technique. And the first time I've said in my videos that there are a lot of players that I predicted will become great players for their country. And the first time that I saw him bat, I had predicted that he's going to be a big player because of the technique that he had, and he was excellent with his technique, and he had perfect balance, I should always say, as an opening batsman when he opened the batting. And another very unique thing about him was his the position of his head when he batted. I mean, his head was perfectly still, which is a great attribute to for a batsman. And he is the first captain to win the Ashes for England in 18 years when they won in 2005. And someone under whose captaincy England became a very strong team. And in 2004, they were unbeaten and also had a English record of 8 Test victories in a row. I'm talking about the excellent English batsman Michael Vaughan, who had an amazing technique and who was such a sweet batsman who was really good on the eye. He was born 29th October 1974 in Manchester, England, and in all he played 82 Test matches for England, and he scored 5,719 runs, and he had an average of 41.44. But before he took the captaincy, his average was above 50, and he scored 18 hundreds for England as well, and his highest was 197. In one day cricket, he scored close to 2,000 runs, but he was never really a one day player. He was just an amazing Test batsman. And there is another thing about Michael Vaughan. He is the first cricketer ever who appeared on the cover of Wisden, which is called the cricket's Bible, the Wisden. He featured in 2003 after his excellent 2002 season. I mean, England had last won the Ashes in 1986-87. I mean, during Gatting and Ian Botham's heroics. And after 18 years, in 18 years, they had never won an Ashes. And that is the time when under Michael Vaughan, they won the Ashes. And Andrew Flintoff was a big hero of that series as well. And by the way, he's also the 600th capped Test player for England, which is a good thing. And I remember he made his debut in 1999. I was in college. I remember watching that match at Wanderers, Johannesburg, where England were in all sorts of trouble. When Michael Vaughan came to bat, the score was 2 runs and 2 wickets. And in the next over, it became 2 runs and 4 wickets. England were 2 runs for 4 wickets down, and Alan Donald and Sean Pollock was all over England, and it was difficult batting conditions as well. But he batted really well, and he scored a composed 33, and he put a 50-run partnership with Andrew Strauss, I think. And that, I mean, even that day it could be seen the technique that he had, and against bowlers like Alan Donald and Sean Pollock on that wicket, under the circumstances, it was just very obvious that he was going to be an English legend, and he was just excellent. And in 2002-3 season, that is when he really had his best series. England went to Australia for the Ashes series, and he scored big hundreds at Adelaide in the third Test, then the fourth Test at Melbourne, and also the fifth Test at Sydney. And in Sydney, I mean, he scored a match-winning 183. And it was just an excellent series. I mean, and remember in that Test series, Australia had Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, and Brett Lee as well. And he scored more than 600 runs in that series against Australia, and he became the first visiting batsman in 32 years to score more than 600 runs in a Test series in Australia. So that is a magnificent achievement that he had. And he also became the first English batsman to score 3 Test hundreds against Australia after Chris Broad. So that 2002-3 season was his own. And he was also one of the Wisden Cricketers of the Year in 2003 as well. And it is under his captaincy that England really rose to become one of the greatest teams of that era. I mean, and even South Africa were a strong team with Graham Smith and Dale Steyn and all of them, Jack Ellis, Amla. And in 2004, I mean, England had an amazing year. They didn't lose a single test in 2004, and they won 11 Test matches, and they drew 2 Test matches, and they even had an English record of 8 consecutive Test victories in 2004. And they also did a couple of big things. They beat South Africa in an away test series for the first time after 1965, and they also beat West Indies for the first time away from home in since 1968. I mean, so that was two big achievements from England. Even though West Indies in 2004 was even not even a shadow of what they were before, but still, I mean, beating West Indies and South Africa away from home since 1968 and 1965 respectively was it was a very big achievement from the English team. And Michael Vaughan's batting was just excellent. He was in Australia. I remember he was just very good. I mean, especially as opening batsman against pace, he was really good. I mean, and he used to play the pull shot well. He used to drive the ball well. He always had a very high elbow, which is a lot of people who know cricket know that. I mean, have a high elbow is a big thing for a batsman, which shows they have a perfect technique. And he had really had a high elbow, and he is someone who replaced Michael Atherton as an opener, who was a very good opener. And even Michael Atherton gave a lot of praise to Michael Vaughan and the way he was batting and his batsmanship. I mean, he really was a solid batsman, and he was difficult to get out. I mean, when he batted, it looked like a pillar stone was batting, and I really used to enjoy watching Michael Vaughan. I mean, he was just a perfect test batsman. And a lot of big memories for him as well, playing with England and having a Flintoff. I mean, all of them. Even Simon Jones was a hero of that Ashes series. But that 2002-3 series against Australia, he also 183. I said he scored a match-winning 183 in Sydney. He also scored a 177. I think it was at Adelaide. Yes, 177, and even a big 100 at Melbourne, 145 and 177, one of them between those two grounds, but 183 came at Sydney. And it was just excellent. And he did have a batting, like I mentioned, he did have a batting average of more than 50 when he took over the captaincy. After the captaincy got to him, his average did drop, which happens to a lot of players as well. But that is what Michael Vaughan has done, and he is a commentator now, and he's a very outspoken commentator who doesn't shy back with his words, and his contribution to English cricket is massive as a batsman and also as a captain. I mean, English cricket were very weak for a long time, from the late 80s, midnight to throughout the 90s. But Michael Vaughan, it is after Michael Vaughan came that England became a really big, powerful team. And they also had a lot of good players like Matthew Hoggart bowling, Steve Harmison, Flintoff, Simon Jones, Kevin Peters, and Andrew Strauss, a lot of people to say. So that is my video on Michael Vaughan, one of the greatest, finest batsmen in Test cricket, and someone that I really enjoyed watching because of his absolutely beautiful technique and that solid batsmanship that he had, and really graceful shots. I mean, the way he used to cover drive the balls quite cut. I mean, obviously, you're not going to score more than 600 runs in a test series in Australia against Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, and Brett Lee if you are in a fine batsman and have all the shots. You used to really pull the ball as well really well. So that is my video on Michael Vaughan, and thank you so much to Michael Vaughan for all his contributions to English cricket, to world cricket. And growing up as a youngster, I really enjoyed watching him and learned a lot of things from Michael Vaughan. So thank you for everything you have done for English cricket, world cricket, and good luck with your commentary and everything that you do. He's involved with a lot of things. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and God bless you.